Good morning, good evening, February 2nd, Megan Mitchell here. And before I begin, I wanted to give a couple of shout outs to some people who, first of all, James Hawkins, thank you for your shout out on your recent video. I appreciate you. Thank you for mentioning me, and others who are staying consistent and creating content while we are waiting. And I want to thank all of the people who are making the amazing graphics. I know Asif has made quite a few graphics for me. I appreciate that. I want to thank all of the people who are making the AI videos. Michael Croach, I appreciate you. And there's many, many more, those who are consistently making videos, making content, sharing other people's content. Redfern, I appreciate you. But today I want to talk about waiting. Some time ago, I came across information that has stuck with me. You know, there's things that stick with us. You know, we don't even know where we heard it, but they stick with us because there's significance, or it's relatable to us. And the concept was that children who are able to delay gratification are more successful later in life. And so with our current journey in Victory with Ash and our whole journey with Ash, we have, you know, been through a lot of different periods of waiting. And I've been thinking about how some people are waiting gracefully and others are waiting anxiously, and what the difference is in that. So because that's been on my mind, I went back and did a little research to see where that information might have come from about the children. And I don't know if this is where I originally heard it, but it was a study done in the 1960s at, I believe, Stanford University. Walter Mischel, I believe, was the researcher who was studying preschoolers. And the concept was that he wanted to know what made some little kids able to resist temptation and how that would affect their futures. So what they did was they gave these little kids an opportunity to eat marshmallows. And when I read this, I thought this was funny because, you know, Ash used to say, it's like kissing marshmallows. He used to say that a lot. So that was something that I hadn't remembered about the research. But they told the students or the little kids that they could either eat a marshmallow right then, or if they waited 15 minutes, they could have two and eat both of them. And what they did was they watched to see which kids were able to resist that temptation, which kids were able to wait patiently and get that delayed gratification, that larger reward in the end, versus wanting an immediate reward. I think now, especially in today's society, we are very, we want instant gratification. I notice that with my students, being an educator, they want everything right then, right there, and we can't do projects that are as long as we used to be able to do. But some of the kids caved. Some of them waited, 3 minutes. Some of them waited 10 minutes. It's on a continuum. And some of them, a few of them, lasted the entire time. And what they found was that the students who were able to, or the kids who were able to last, enlisted distraction techniques, whether it was daydreaming, whether it was playing under a desk. But interestingly, they followed up with the group that were able to delay gratification and last till the end. And what they found was they had a significant advantage over their peers. As teens, they did far better at school, were described as being more mature, had higher self-esteem, were far less likely to become overweight as adults, coped better with stress, and had less drug problems and less divorce rates. So being able to delay gratification was a predictor of future success. So, if you're not someone who is good at delaying gratification, there are ways that you can help. You can practice this. It is a skill that you can become better at. We know that many of the things in history that have taken, that have been great, have taken lots of time. Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel. It took him 4 years. It was very painful. He had to lay on scaffolding. So it was a grueling experience that I'm not sure if when he began, if he thought that this painting project, this commission would take that long. We know that Jeff Bezos, it took him nearly 9 years to bring Amazon to what we know it as today. So it takes a long time to build great things. How can we wait patiently? I've been thinking about how some of us are having an easier time waiting and doing it more gracefully than others, and why that is. And I think, so I did a little research about strategies, and it kind of goes, I believe it goes more in the mental and the physical aspect of it. And those are the things that I want to share with you. Coping with waiting involves managing anxiety through active distraction, grounding techniques, and mindset shifts. And first, I want to talk to you about the mental and emotional strategies. Number 1, accept the discomfort. Acknowledge that the waiting period is stressful and it's okay to feel anxious. Practice mindfulness. Use meditation to stay in the present moment rather than obsessing over the future. Manage your expectations. So manage what you're expecting from this journey, and brace, hope for the best, but brace for things not to go exactly as planned. Reframe the situation. Shift focus from what you cannot control to what you can control, such as your daily routine and how you engage with this journey in Victory with Ash. So that's the mental and emotional component of it. The next one, which I think is one of the most important ones, is your productive use of time. We all know that staying idle makes things take much, much longer. You've been on a vacation, maybe you've been on a road trip, and the kids are in the back and they're saying, "Are we there yet? Are we there yet?" And they don't have anything to do. I mean, now we feed them with technology. We hand them a phone or an iPad and tell them to watch a show and distract them. But if you are doing something, you are so much better at waiting patiently. So let's talk about the productive use of time. Preparing ahead. Use the waiting time to get organized for the outcome, no matter whether it's exactly how you want it to be or whether it is a little bit different. What are you doing to prepare for your journey, for the outcome of this journey, or the future phases of this journey? How are you getting prepared? Whether it is, are you getting yourself prepared emotionally? Are you getting yourself prepared in a more practical way? Are you organizing yourself? Are you organizing your finances? Are you getting things in order? Focus on routine. Ash always says he never told anyone to quit their jobs or abandon their current life. He's never told anyone to do that. So stick with your normal daily routine that provides a sense of stability. If you have a job, many of us still have jobs. Many of us are working full time, and we stick with that routine in the waiting. That helps keep us grounded. Try something new, start a new project. So channel your nervous energy into something new, whether it has anything to do with this journey or whether it has to do with something that you've always wanted to try. Get out there, try creating videos if you've never tried that, things like that. And social connection is the last category. Connect with others. If you are not connecting with anyone in this journey, if you don't have a circle, that is going to make you feel very isolated. And I think when we are not connected to someone or something, it makes the waiting, it makes the time seem so much greater. Many of us get on the same lives. We watch Red, we watch Chris, we have a routine of watching people and staying connected to people. Seek support. If you do not have a group, reach out to a leader and, plug into a group or to a circle that you feel confident in, and that can help you feel grounded. I think my observation with this is that the people who are the most anxious about this journey are the people who are, number one, not doing anything. Maybe they are not engaging in this journey itself, or even engaging in their own lives. They're waiting for someone to save them. They're waiting for someone to tell them what the next step is, rather than being active participants and for example, making videos, making posts, connecting with others. When you connect with others and when you make your own videos or do any of those things, it makes you feel purposeful. It makes time feel like it has direction. Even small actions change the way we connect with time. It gives it purpose. It doesn't feel like this vast void that we can't, wrap our brains around. And then the last thing is that people are disconnected from this process. So they're either not doing anything or they're not directly involved in the process with others. So they feel lost. I think those are the two things that makes waiting really, really difficult. And, what we do while we wait is going to affect the outcome. It's going to affect, I feel like this waiting period is also a bit of a testing period, in the sense that Ash and, the team, they're watching. Even if they're not visible to you, they're watching everything that's going on. And how you wait, whether it's gracefully, whether it's gratefully, are you practicing gratitude? Are you staying positive? Or are you getting online and having temper tantrums and posting negative things and complaining, or constantly messaging people, asking them what's going on, that's okay a little bit, but what you do is going to determine the outcome of this journey for you. And if the journey is not for you, it's okay to walk away from it. I do want to read a quote or read something that I read. I don't have the source, but I want to read it for you because I think, it's powerful and it's, important for us to remember. It says, train yourself to last longer than everyone else. People rarely lose because they lack talent, knowledge, or resources. They lose because they didn't stick around long enough to find out what could have been. Breakthroughs rarely come after the first, second, or even third try. They usually come when everyone else has tapped out. All you have to do is stay in the game long enough to outlast the 99% who quit before the breakthroughs come. So, will you be that 1%? Ash is not looking for numbers. He's looking for quality. Are you going to be that person? Are you going to be that quality person who outlasts and who waits patiently and who sees it through till the end, until you can kiss the marshmallows? Have a blessed Monday.